Hi everyone, thanks for coming to Pot About with me today. I am going to be doing something, just following up on the video which I had done of my African violets unboxing. Basically I received these African violets, there were 5 of them which I got online, but a lot of them are actually needing repot. So this one is the one I'm going to be potting today, or repotting. It's the Leila Marie. I've done a little bit of research just because I'm not so great with violets, and this I think is a vintage standard. I might be mistaken on that, but just from what I remember offhand. When I did buy it, I knew that it was like quite an old leggy plant, the seller described it as. So what that means is that the stalk is quite high. I did manage to get a sucker off of this. It was just connected over there, so I've planted that one already. But I just thought I'll do the repot for this one. Basically what I'm going to do is, if you have a look from the top, there are a few leaves here which need to come out, so I'm going to pull off this leaf. And I think I'm going to take off one of these as well, just to give it a bit more life, and then, or a lot more energy going towards the crown. And then I'm also going to, because I watched a few videos online, and basically if you have a look quickly, this one is actually quite, let's take out the label, and this one is actually quite root bound, so I think they call it pot bound. So it is just dry at the moment, the leaves are a bit soft, but if you have a look and see, there's like roots. I'll just try and twist it. The roots are quite compact, so African violets do like that, but so they don't want to be in too much of a big pot. But as you can see, this one does need repot, so I'm going to keep the same root system that's there. I'm just gonna maybe remove a bit of soil, and I'm also just going to scrape ever so gently, just with my nail even, just to refresh the dry pots here. And what that'll do, hopefully, from what I've seen some videos on, it's just to make sure that what is the word that was used to describe it, is it the cells of the plant get stimulated, because the new roots will come from here and then spread out into the soil. So basically I'm gonna plant it right up until there in the soil, refresh this just so that it's a bit exposed, and hopefully it'll shoot new roots from there. The pot that it was planted in is a 6 centimeter pot. I know it looks really small, but it is 6 centimeter. I think this is an 8 centimeter I'm going to be popping it in. So as you can see, it sits a little bit above the edge. Let me try and get a better angle over there, so I'll try and disrupt the roots a bit just to spread them out. At the moment the plant is quite dry, so I'm going to use a soil which I've prepared already. It's got some peat moss in here. I don't have too much of it, but I did have some left over, with a little bit of potting soil, some vermiculite and some perlite. And I've already gone ahead and just added some water to that, so it's already a wet mixture, and that way I won't really need to water the plant too much. So let me just go ahead and I'll start potting that up for you. Okay. So I'm just going to remove as much of the topsoil from the plant that I can. And sorry about the light here as well, just the sun is shining through and the lights on the inside here are not so great. So I've just gone ahead and opened up the root ball there. No, you don't want to compress the soil, you want it light and airy. Now you don't want to press too hard onto the soil. You want to still keep it light and airy. And the reason being is because the roots are so delicate. You want them to be able to just penetrate into that soil quite easily without having to really struggle too much. So I'm just gonna fill up this pot with a bit more potting mixture, and remember you're really safe when you're really safe potting right up to the, right up just to the crown as well. And remember, I've refreshed the base, so hopefully it should be able to just try and stimulate the plant just to set some roots right up until that point. So I'm just gonna make sure that the soil touches really, and then shouldn't be too much more for it. There you go. It's fine. I am gonna give this plant a little bit of water as well, just so that it stimulates it. Basically, that's the plant pot. I am gonna write on it just again the name of the plant, which is the Leila Marie, but as you can see, this should hopefully stay in here for the next year without needing to be repot, and then once it settles in, I'll be able to tell just from that. So I'm just going to add a little bit more potting mix because I really want this to just touch the plant there, and I am going to just give it a little bit of water just to make sure that it's all nicely settled in. So I've already let this was tap water. I know people say you don't use tap water, but I've let it sit for a couple of days so that anything that was in there can drain out, not drain out, or I guess evaporate, so any sort of chemicals which are in there. And I'm just going to add a little bit of water just to make it wet. Just gently. Now some people don't mind getting water on the leaves. I definitely don't want that to happen. So I'll give it a bit of water there. Because it was quite dry, I think it will appreciate it, but I don't want it to be wet forever. So that's probably enough for some time. And I'll be able just to monitor the leaves to see if it catches on. And the final thing that I am going to do just with that one is I am going to complete the tag. So it was the Leila Marie. And then I am going to put on today's date, which is April the... what is it? It's April the 22nd of March. Oh, sorry, 22nd of April. Slide that in, and that's the Leila Marie repotted. Now, what I also have still is these leaves. So I am going to repot those as well. So I'm just going to put this to one side and I'll show you how I repot.